just off of US Highway 12 in Lenawee County, Michigan, in Brooklyn, in the Irish Hills, apparently. This is Michigan International Speedway here in the SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series for the Aaron Brown Memorial 175, presented by AR Exemplary. I have no idea what AR Exemplary is. So, anyway, I'm Josh Copperell. I'm joined in the booth by Brett Bennett. Brett, how you doing?
I am doing well. Looking forward to some racing here at Michigan. Always a very fun track, both to race at and to watch races at, especially on iRacing. In personal opinion, it races a lot better on iRacing than it does in real life. Real life is good, but iRacing almost always you get just incredible action here. These next-gen cars, not quite, I don't think quite as entertaining as the trucks are here on iRacing, but still, I've raced these here before, and even them, you can put on a great show. You can really make moves, but tire wear, at least back when I was running here, was a concern. So that'll be interesting to see how it plays out. It's kind of a mix of a draft and tire management track. So going to be a lot of strategy here tonight as this race goes on in the second race of the playoffs here in the SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series, race 2 of 6.
Yeah, I love this track. I think it's pretty well known at this point that this track is my hometown track. I actually live in real life 20 minutes away from it. I've grown up within just 20 minutes down the road my whole life. This track, it's definitely my favorite NASCAR track because, you know, biased opinions, because, I mean, let's be honest, there are better ones out there. But this track, it always does put on great shows. iRacing is so fun. I love racing at this track on iRacing. It doesn't love me, though. I always have success in the beginning and don't push it to the race. But I am not Kevin Harvick. I am not the closer. I cannot close one out. I've come so close sometimes. Can't do it.
This track might be the one I think I might have won here more than any other. Actually, probably it's Talladega, but out of true plate tracks, this is probably the track I've won at most on iRacing. I've had a lot of success, especially in the trucks here in official races, and I've also come close in some other cars. Had some good runs in Gen 4 here a couple weeks ago too. So it's generally just a track. It's really fun to drive. It's a track that rewards commitment in the corners and being willing to really be aggressive on the throttle. But at the same time, especially these next-gen cars, you got to watch out, because if you go too hard into the corner, you're just going to push up and hit that wall on exit. But it definitely is going to be it always is interesting when we come here, and I think we'll see more of the same here tonight.
So, Brett, I have a question for you. I've been trying to do trivia questions. This is not the trivia question that I was thinking of for tonight. This is just something that randomly popped off my mind because out of Webster. I've been coming to this track. I've been to every NASCAR race here since 2017, with the exception of 2020 because, you know, COVID. So Ford has won here every year since 2018. Both races, 2018, both races in 2019, both races in 2020, and then the one race that they have done since one race a year, 2021, 2022, and 2023. It's a lot of wins for Ford here. So my question is, to you, Brett, who was the last non-Ford winner?
Let's see, 2016?
2017.
Oh, 2017? I actually believe I know this one. I believe it's Kyle Larson.
Yeah, and he swept 2017 as well.
Yeah, he swept 2017 here. Because pretty much any track shaped like this, Richmond, Michigan, and Auto Club, he pretty much dominated them in 2017. I think he won at least 3 or 4 races on tracks that are this kind of shape, even though I know Richmond's not really that similar. It's a lot shorter, drives a lot differently, but I don't
He
remember if he
actually
won
won
Auto
4.
Club that year, but I know he won
did.
both Michigan races. He
He
did win Auto Club. Okay.
He won Auto Club, Michigan, and Richmond, actually.
Yeah, I knew he had won Richmond. I wasn't sure if he had won Auto Club. That was the one I wasn't sure of. Unfortunately, I believe those were his only 4 wins that year.
Yeah. So, I'm not going to get into the actual trivia question right now. This one will be for those watching. But one thing I do want to mention, last night, one of the greatest sports callers, Ken Squire, passed away. And I'm way too young to have heard him in his prime. But I love going back and watching old NASCAR races and listening to Ken Squire call them. He's so good at what he did. And sad to hear about his passing, but just want to take the time to say that. Actually, something really cool. In 2018, I went to the Charlotte Roval. It was the first edition of the Charlotte Roval race, and that race was my first non-Michigan race that I went to. So I'm used to here in MIS them having MRN call the race speakers while you're at the track. So I'm thinking, being at Charlotte might be the same except with PRN instead of MRN, which was not the case. They actually had some people commentating the race for those in attendance over the speakers, and one of them actually was Ken Squire, and it was so awesome to hear him commentate that race that I'm watching in person. So that was really my only experience of hearing him commentate while live, but such a great commentator. He was gifted.
Yeah, the commentator who probably more than anybody was the voice of the sport as it came into national prominence. Obviously, 1979 Daytona 500, probably the most important race in the history of the sport for just a perfect combination of factors, with the Northeast snowed in and a outstanding race, and then a dramatic finish with the fight on the backstretch. Still, probably my favorite racing line to still use is, he's angry because he knows he has lost. So yeah, and just a lot of great moments throughout the years, calling mainly for CBS. A lot of, was basically the voice of the Daytona 500, I believe, up till 1997 when he got replaced by Mike Joy. I might be off on the years there, but
that I could not tell you.
I mean, I know Mike Joy did the 98 500 because I think that was Mike Joy's first race, like as a lead play-by-play for CBS, was the 98 500, which Earnhardt won, I think, but I'm not sure on that.
98 was Earnhardt. That was 20 years of trying.
Yeah, and that was Mike Joy.
I know this because
I am checking on it right now just because I want to know.
Random stats.
Yeah, he did lap. Yeah, 1997 was his last Daytona 500.
Random stats. I like to know, or I wanted to know when I was younger, who won the Daytona 500 the year I was born in the NASCAR championship. Dale Earnhardt with the 500, and Jeff Gordon with the championship. The first 500 that I was actually alive for, by Jeff Gordon, 1999.
Yeah, 1997 would have been the first one I was alive for. So.
Which was also Jeff Gordon.
Yes. Also Dale Earnhardt flipping and continuing on. Probably the most famous thing of that 500. But yeah, no, getting back to what we got here tonight. Right now, by the way, Andretti Robinson, fastest in this practice session. He had a really strong run at Road America, if I'm remembering correctly. And yeah, enters today's race, 5th in points, 54 points behind the points leader, Zachary Thornton. Another guy up front, Eric Heater, second on the board. He coming off his first win of the season at Road America, and right now sitting 27 points out of the points lead in third. So those are two names I think we're going to really want to keep our eye on today. They've really been, both of them have really shown a lot of strength lately. I think they're going to be two people to really look for in today's race. I think the practice time is showing that, and I would not be surprised, especially Eric Heater. It seems like pretty much ever since we went to Chicago, he's been on a hot streak. Had a great run at Chicago, a great run at Indianapolis.
Eric Heater. He has been showing really good speed lately.
You could say he's on a heater.
Yeah. Leave the bad jokes to me.
I mean, that one was on a platter. But yeah, also our points leader, Zachary Thornton, currently fourth fastest, 38.555. Honestly, not a lot of spread in this field. Every driver who has recorded a time so far within 4/10 of each other, which around a 2-mile track that is not a plate track is really tight. So he troubled Cody Webster around, and I believe that's the exit turn 4. And not sure who that was. Somebody hit him.
Getting ready to head to qualifying. Brett, who is your pick to win?
You know, Keeter, I'm gonna go with him going back to back. He's really been fast lately. He's shown a lot of pace. His patience has seemed to be really good compared to some drivers. I think he's gonna get it done, go back-to-back wins, and really put himself into the thick of this championship hunt here today.
I'm going to go with Brad Sawinski. And there's a reason. He has shown some speed. Currently sitting P6 on practice charts right now. I think, first of all, I know for a fact when it comes to home tracks, you want to win at your home track. And Brad Sawinski, he's a Michigander. Fun fact, in actual NASCAR, the Cup Series, no Michigan-born native has won a Cup Series race at Michigan. This is not NASCAR Cup Series. This is the Cup of Cars, but I still think Brad Sawinski's going to get it done tonight.
Yeah, I knew the Brad Sawinski fact because I believe they have mentioned it every single race at Michigan about Brad Keselowski since about 2014.
Brad has won in the Xfinity Series at Michigan.
Yes, but he has not won in the Cup Series, and it is mentioned. It is mentioned very frequently that a Michigan-born driver has never won at this track. Every time, which is interesting because a lot of drivers haven't won at their home tracks, but for some reason, Brad Keselowski at Michigan, they make a big deal out of it.
Well, there was Johnny Benson, Brad Keselowski, Eric Jones. You know, there's not really been a whole lot of big names from Michigan other than those three that I just mentioned.
Michigan, as far as the auto industry, has always been more on the design and development side than the driving side for the most part. I think has a lot to do with that. Obviously, in real life, as a race, almost every team wants to win, with this being the home race for Chevy and Ford, plus obviously Toyota getting the chance to spoil the party.
Yeah, and if you did not know this, there actually is a manufacturer's trophy that the winning manufacturer takes home, if you will. Ford, as I mentioned earlier, Ford has had that trophy Every race since June of 2018. Chevy has not found a victory lane here since Kyle Larson 2017. Toyota hasn't won here since probably Kyle Busch in 2011. That can't be right. It wasn't 2011 that Kyle. Yeah, actually, it was 2011 August that Kyle Busch won this race. Whether he was the last Toyota to win here or not, I don't know. That can't be right. It's a long time.
I thought Truex won here once, like in 2016, but he might have been in a Chevy when he won.
I don't think Truex has ever won here.
I'm thinking of Pocono, actually.
Joey Logano
Michigan,
won the spring 2016
Michigan and Pocono are the
race.
two tracks that I get mixed up with each other because they were always on the SAAC, basically weeks. They were always 1 week after the other, both for the first and second races, with two races close together. And they're both tracks that the IndyCar should still race at. Especially Michigan. Meanwhile, currently in qualifying, Brandon Fiedler has gone fastest with a 38.930, but Chase Gibbons knocks off 38.903 on his second lap. Good run for that 9 car. But he's going to be knocked out of the top spot by Amir Bascombe. And in turn, knocked off by Eric Heater. That's the top spot. And Brandon Fiedler now goes top. Drivers repeatedly swapping that top spot here early in qualifying.
Matt Kenseth in 2015. Before that was Kyle Busch in 2011. But Matt Kenseth was the last Toyota winner.
That does sound correct.
I have it up on MRN, actually. Ollie Reeves, we were just watching him. He went P4.
Yeah, Jacob Weiss has gone top of the board, the number 19. Currently first. Wyatt Roberts goes 14th on his second lap. Another driver I think we might want to take a look at today in the Ohio 811 Ford, Cody Webster. He's had a lot of strong performances this season, and especially at these faster ovals. He seemed like he might have been the car to beat at Charlotte.
Currently P15.
And he goes top of the board.
P1.
And I had mentioned it during practice. Every driver so far who has recorded a time has completed their run. We have no drivers out on track attempting times. We still got Malachi Draken and Dreddy Robinson out there, but I believe they're just running extra laps right now. Brandon Thomas and Wes Gallo are yet to record a time. They will not be able to. They will not have enough time to get. They are still on pit road, so neither of them will be able to record a time here in practice. So Cody Webster going to be our pole sitter here today. And with this being a playoff race, one thing to note. One thing to note is our second place driver in points, Brian Lorenzo, has not registered for this session and will not make it here tonight. Another thing to note, Aaron Brown, if we saw him be involved in a multitude of incidents at Road America, he actually is serving a one-race suspension this week due to incident points accrued in that race under the league's penalty system. So that is why this is the Aaron Brown Memorial 175.
All right, let's take a look at our starting lineup. And Cody Webster is on the pole with Jacob Weiss, who is outside. Brandon Fiedler starts third. Fourth, Eric Heater. And fifth, Malachi Drake.
Starting sixth, Will Cloud in the Microsoft Paint scheme. Seventh, Ollie Reeves, number 31. Starting eighth, the Michigander, Brad Suwinski as home track. Starting ninth, the 25 of Shockey Tarpley, and rounding out our top 10, the number 30 of Matthew Miles.
Starting in 11th is going to be Amir Bascom. 12th is Andretti Robinson. 13th, Zachary Thornton. Jace Gibbons at 14th. And Cody Rivera's starts 15th.
Starting 16th, last week's, I believe, third place finisher, come off a podium last week, Traver Burns in the 0-2. Then it's the Quaker Steak and Lube, 42 of Wyatt Roberts starting 17th. Michael Walls in the Fastenal Ford team run by real-life Michigan winner Chris Buescher will start 18th. Zachary Wareham in the 59 will start 19th. Wes Gallo in the 07 20th, and rounding out our field will be Brandon Thomas in the Go Bowler, I believe it says on there. The 51 will round out the field starting 21st.
Stage is at the end of lap 30. This race is 88 laps. And the pace car starts to roll off the pit road. So again, I have no idea what AR Exemplary is, but apparently they're on YouTube, so you can check them out. And
so Josh, I hate to say it, but starting on pole here, we got a car with the state of Ohio on it.
yeah, he's from.
I know, I know, but he is sponsored by Ohio 811 though.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If we could take Ohio and flood it and name it Lake Inferior, so Michigan can have another lake. We'll have the acronym of homies: Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Inferior, Erie, and Superior. Instead of just homies.
For those not aware, as a Michigander, Josh, University of Michigan fan, obviously coming up here, I believe next Saturday, the annual Ohio State Michigan game. Both teams currently undefeated.
Go blue. So anyway, let's focus on one of the greatest sports, and that's motorsports. These drivers are getting ready to come off turn 4. The pace car will enter pit road, and we're going to turn these guys loose. A pair of Fords on the front row. A pair of Toyotas, row 2, and then a Chevy and a Toyota, row 3. Green flag is in the air. We're underway here in Michigan.
A good jump for the Kings Hawaiian. It's listed as the 19, but it's the number 6 of Jacob Weist. He's not going to be able to clear the 08 of Cody Webster in the turn 1 with a good push from the 39 of Brandon Fiedler. Still side by side for the lead.
And Weist actually gets to the lead. Webster falls down to 3rd, but here comes Heater. Heater was wanting to take a peek underneath, but
Heater had a huge run. They got a huge run on the top there out of turns 1 and 2. And Heater going to look to the bottom here on the front stretch, looking for the race lead early. I believe Weist led that lap by a nose. Cody Webster right behind both of them as they drive it down into turn 1 and 2. And Cody Webster going to look 3 wide through the middle. 3 wide for the race lead. Webster's going to be able to clear Weist and slide up the track. Heater stuck on the bottom, and he's going to try to maybe get in line, but not going to have a spot. He might drop all the way back to 4th here. You can see the importance of keeping up that momentum, that top line early on, looking like the preferred line. Heater, though, drives it in deep. Almost was able to clear Weist. Not quite able to, as Cody Webster starting to pull away a little bit as Eric Heater and Jacob Weist battle side by side for 2nd.
this track, the way iRacing works, it's a highline dominant track, as you see here. Fiedler, he's on the outside. Oh, contact! Heater!
Eric Heater saves it, keeps it out of the wall. Great save by Eric Heater. He kept it out of the fence. He's going to drop all the way back to the 17th position, but could have been a lot worse there. Just a little bit of contact there out of turn 2. And you were saying it's a highline dominant track, but I will say you can make the bottom work, but it's going to rely kind of on slide jobs, and it depends on the vehicle. But this next-gen car is really especially here, is very momentum-based, and you can just carry so much more momentum rolling that top that it really becomes an effective lane to use.
So right now Webster out front. Rolling a little bit of a higher line.
And meanwhile, Ollie Reeves got a good run off of turn 4. He's going to try to close in on the 6 of Jacob Weist for that 3rd position. And the leader here is kind of vulnerable. You get such a they punch a pretty decent sized hole in the air, and that's just going to allow that car behind to draft back up to them, especially on these long straightaways. As Ollie Reeves looking to the inside of Jacob Weist for the 3rd position.
Reeves sent it in there just a little bit. He's clear.
That's the key to making passes there. As you saw, he didn't go fully to the bottom. He just drove it in harder than Jacob Weist and was able to clear him. That's going to use your tires more, but that is how you're going to need to complete passes here in the early going.
Pretty wide for last. Scalo, Wyatt Robertson, Zachary Wareham.
You know, our points leader, Zachary Thornton, didn't have a strong qualifying run, but is already up 4 positions, up to the 9th position. Mike Wall started in the back. He's already up he's up 8 spots to 10th, our biggest mover so far in this race.
Leaning on each other there. Swinsky and Walls. They're going to be 4 wide.
They were for a second. They were 3 wide by the time they got the corner exit. And Andretti Robinson, he's going to kind of lose out, dropping back as the 9 and Chase Gibbons also moves into that picture. Michael Walls has really been working that top line, but you see Andretti Robinson trying to make the bottom work. And he's going to be clear of both Gibbons and Walls. Gibbons maybe got a little loose. Shockey Tarpley also looking under Malachi Drake, looking for that 6th position.
Shockey Tarpley he's there, but can't get in the hole between Drake and Thornton.
And you see, every time they get to that, especially that back straightaway, that outside line really falls back. But it lets people behind. If they pull in the line, those people on the bottom are going to drop to the bottom and try to take advantage. The high line isn't quite as dominant in 3 and 4. Just the way the front straightaway arcs out and a little bit wider exit lets you kind of make that bottom work a lot better. But you see, they're kind of stacked up there, all on the back bummer. Dre Rousey going to look to the bottom under Brad Suwinski and Zachary Thornton. He's actually going to clear Zachary Thornton up to the 7th spot. He gets 2 for 1 there in the turn 2. Oh, Thornton got a little bit of a bump. He's able to keep it together. He's going to slide back, though. That's going to cost him a lot of spots.
3 wide with Rivera's and Heater.
Also, we've had a change to the lead. Brandon Fiedler has gone to the high side on Cody Webster. They're currently side by side for the race lead down the front stretch. And Cody Webster actually able to clear once again, maintaining the race lead for the time being.
Ollie Reeves is coming. Ollie Reeves is closing in on this battle.
Yeah, when cars get side by side here, they drop quickly, and we got a caution.
Check Tarpley. I'm sorry, not Tarpley.
Mir Bascombe. He was 3 wide with Zachary Thornton and Matthew Miles. And looks like Zachary Thornton just moved up the track slightly, clipped Amir Bascombe in hard contact with the rear of the car to the inside wall. Although I think he's going to be fine. I think that just damaged the rear of that car. He didn't get, I don't think he got any suspension damage. He hit it pretty square. That's actually not going to probably be a lot of repairs. Get that car back to full speed. Now, what I was saying before we got that caution, though, when cars are getting side by side here, it just really makes you have to almost check. You have to be just really cautious because it's going to cost you a huge amount of time. That side, both the side draft plus running side by side in the corner, not being able to arc it as much on the bottom and not being able to come down as much on the top. You just drop so much time. I think that's why we saw Cody Webster, Brandon Fiedler, and Ollie Reeves kind of out ahead of everybody at the front of the field there.
So, who's going to pit? Who's going to stay out? And a little bit of trickery there. Looks like...
It's like almost everybody's staying out. I believe that's Zachary Thornton going to be the first of the cars to come down pit road along with Wes Gallo and Amir Bascombe. Points leader Zachary Thornton started out strong, gained a lot of spots, but then had that contact and dropped back towards the rear of the field. And then outside that kind of Amir Bascombe that brought out the caution. They just saw Thornton overshoot his box there. And based on what I'm seeing, none of those cars on pit road had the jack go up. So damage repairs being undertaken by Wes Gal, Zachary Thornton, and Amir Bascombe. And all three drivers who are on pit road are able to get their repairs completed and will stay on the lead lap. So still all 21 vehicles on the lead lap.
Driver's choosing this time. His lights on the pace car come off. Webster takes
Cody
the
Webster.
top. Either takes
I don't think that's super surprising considering how much we've seen, especially how much we've seen that top line kind of be the dominant line as Ollie Reeves and Jacob Weiss also choose the top. Will Cloud choosing the bottom in that pink and yellow number 48 machine. And Dreddy Robinson also the bottom, along with Micah Walls. So to reset as we get ready to restart, front row will be Cody Webster and Brandon Fiedler. Then Ollie Reeves and Will Cloud. Jacob Weiss and Dreddy Robinson on the third row. Fourth row, Malachi Drake and Micah Walls. And row 5, Brad Suwinski and Shockey Tarpley.
Going to be 75 laps to go when we go back green. 16 to go. Sorry, it'll be 17 to go in the stage.
That stage, as usual, I believe the reason why not a lot of people came down pit road there. Lap times hadn't really fallen off a lot yet, although I do think we will see some lap time fall off as this race progresses. Only 4 total sets of tires. And actually, I'm not sure what happened, but it appears the caution may have been extended a lap, or we were always on 1 to green and they just chose a lap early.
No, lights on the pace car did go out. I don't know why they came back on.
I'm going to go do some investigating real quick.
So it'll be 16 to go in the stage. And the race. Still all 21 cars on the lead lap, as Brett mentioned.
Yeah, the green was delayed. I'm not sure what happened to Traber Burns. He just pulled to the apron. And maybe had something going on with his wheel or something. Just had to come to a stop on the apron and then had to catch back up to the field. That's what delayed the green. He is retaking his spot in the 11th position. Unlike real life, iRacing does not penalize you for not maintaining caution speed.
All right, pace car is coming in. And we're going back green. Inside the restart zone, green flag is out.
And a great jump there for the 08 of Cody Webster. He's able to get clear. But Brandon Fiedler going to fight back on the inside in turns 1 and 2. And Webster able to clear, and here comes Ollie Reeves. Fiedler got checked up there in the middle of the corner. And Ollie Reeves is going to take the second position away from him.
Oh, Shaq Tarpley in the wall.
Tarpley into the fence. He's just going to hold it up there. He might be all right. I think he got a little bit of contact there from the 36 Cody Rivera, and Cody Rivera is loose there on the bottom. Will Cloud going to get by Brandon Fiedler for the third spot, and he's got a run on Ollie Reeves down the front stretch.
As Reeves looks to the bottom, underneath Webster.
Yeah, Webster's really doing a good job carrying that speed in the middle of the corner right now, making it hard, difficult for them to pass. Will Cloud able to clear Brandon Fiedler. Wants into a little bit of a run on Ollie Reeves, but he's just going to be patient, waiting behind him. He's going to stay up top. And Andretti Robinson looking under the 39 of Brandon Fiedler for that fourth position. As here comes Ollie Reeves, gets a good launch off that corner, and once you're seeing that bottom, I think actually is going to be the preferred lane in 3 and 4. But the top definitely seems to be the better lane in 1 and 2 as they enter side by side for the race lead in the turn 1 and 2. Oh, contact! A little bit of
drifting up the track there, and they are 3 wide behind. Not much room for error.
close contact. Jacob Weiss, Andretti Robinson, contact, and Weiss hard in the wall. There goes Michael Walls. Multiple cars wrecking. Calamity on the backstretch. Matthew Miles and Eric Heater involved, as is Jacob Weiss. I think Jacob Weiss' day might be done. And in fact, he has had the tow to pit road. That wreck was happening for the entire length of the backstretch, it looked like, before they actually got finally wrecked. And really, Jacob Weiss just got caught 3 wide, and Andretti Robinson just kept drifting up the track and just didn't give enough space. And then Jacob Weiss bounces off the wall, and then hard contact with Eric Heater, the 99. Eric Heater spins and then gets hit hard by Zachary Thornton, our points leader among those involved. Matthew Miles also got spun in that.
Zachary Wareham also involved.
Yeah, Zach Wareham. He kind of just drove in the fence a little bit to try to stay out of it. Bumped into Eric Heater. Eric Heater might. I'm sure he has. Eric Heater has required repairs along with Jacob Weiss. Jacob Weiss' day probably done after he took a hard impact to the outside wall and then got hit hard again. By the way, side note, our race sponsor, AR Exemplary, I am thinking about it. I believe that is Andretti Robinson is what AR Exemplary is, because I saw that as his car sponsor there, and that is his initials.
Very possible.
So several cars on pit road: Matthew Miles, Shaki Tarpley, Wes Gallo, Amir Bascombe, Zachary Thornton, and Jacob Weiss, who towed to pit road. Matthew Miles, Wes Gallo already have pulled off of pit lane. Both of them appeared to just be taking damage repair. Also, the 25 of Shockey Tarpley still on pit road. We had seen him before that accident getting into the wall hard with the right side of his car, and pretty decent damage I'm seeing on that right side. So he's probably getting that repaired. Eric Heater and Shockey Tarpley are both able to make it off pit road and stay on the lead lap. Jacob Weiss still sitting on pit road after that incident. But the field has chosen. Cody Webster's chosen the top. Will Cloud to the bottom of the front row. Second row will be Ollie Reeves and Brad Suwinski, then Brandon Fiedler and Cody Riveras. Malachi Drake, Zachary Thornton. Zachary Thornton took a pretty heavy shot to the nose of that car, and it's got heavy damage, but he stayed out during that caution. I think he's going to sink like a rock on this restart. And then the next row, Andretti Robinson and Chase Gibbons.
Gonna stay up to date on our schedule. Visit our website at www.jctv.com. And also follow us on social media, Twitter, or now X, Instagram, and Facebook. Space Car is pulling in pit road. We're getting ready to go green for 68 laps left of racing. Did go on the stage. Green flag is out. Webster, great launch.
Some reviews on that restart. Chase Gibbons went low, it looked like early. I looked like stacking up. It might have been just the damaged car, Zachary Thornton, though, causing that. Cody Webster able to get clear along. Ollie Reeves. Will Cloud going to slide in third. He's going to pull up aggressively in front of Brandon Fiedler off of turn 2.
Great 1 and 2 on a restart.
Yeah, Cody Webster and Will Cloud side by sorry, not Cody Webster. Brandon Fiedler and Will Cloud side by side for third. Will Cloud going to be able to prevail, keep that third position. And here comes Cody Riveras. Haven't really seen much of him so far today, but he is now up side by side. But he gets up into the fence there, kind of overdrove entry, just looked like he just got tight, got up in the fence. You know, they're 3 wide further back. They're able to sort it out. Brandon Fiedler once again looking to the inside of Will Cloud, looking to take away that third position once again. But then being side by side, Malachi Drake closing in quickly on them down the front stretch. And he is going to choose to push, I believe, Will Cloud. Still though side by side in the turns 1 and 2. Fiedler drives it in deep, and he's going to clear Will Cloud and slide up in front of him, taking away that third position. A big run for Will Cloud coming back, and he's just going to choose to bump Fiedler instead of trying to go to the bottom.
Golly, Reeves looking at the bottom.
He drove it in deep, trying to get that race lead, but I think he might lose some ground here. Brandon Fiedler going to get to his outside for the second position.
Now Reeves might be a sit duck down there as Cloud.
Yeah, he could not.
Drake.
He could not get back in the line. That lets Will Cloud get by him, and now here comes Malachi Drake. Has some different lines there between those drivers. Ollie Reeves is going to be side by side with Will Cloud off of turn 2. And he's going to have a hole between Will Cloud and Malachi Drake that he's going to take. Malachi Drake just going to give him a little bump to the back bumper. Meanwhile, Brandon Fiedler to the bottom of Cody Webster looking for the race lead.
Fiedler's going to get it.
Yeah,
Slide up in front of Webster.
he was a little. It looked like he was nervous about coming up the track there, wanted to make sure he was clear, but he's able to clear him. New race leader, the 39 of Brandon Fiedler. And just a note, Eric Heater was off pit road, but he's come back down pit road and is still on pit road now, sitting 5 laps down, still on pit road.
Malachi Drake, he was looking low. Swinski, that's his back bumper now. Brad Swinski's underneath him. Ray Robinson.
Something I'm going to be interested to see how it ends up working out. And Dre Robinson's been running lower than just about any car in this race. Typically on iRacing, running that bottom groove will give you better tire wear. At a track like Michigan, it's kind of marginal, but it might improve that tire wear just a little bit. And that could be a big advantage, especially as we get to the later stages of this race.
Sharky Tarpley got loose there.
He's able to gather it up. He was able to gather it up, though. Will Cloud, big run on Cody Webster through the middle of 3 and 4. He's going to be right on his rear bumper down the front stretch. And I will say, Will Cloud has seemingly been pretty patient so far, and now as we're coming towards go time for the end of this stage, it looks like he's really starting to turn up the wick, pressuring Cody Webster, but here comes Ollie Reeves trying to pressure him.
I saw Andretti Robinson got loose there off of 2.
Cody Webster looking back for the race lead. Ollie Reeves, almost got up into Will Cloud there. Suwinski to the bottom of Malachi Drake for 5th.
Brad Swinsky still side by side with Malachi Drake, and here comes Trevor Burns into the picture.
Yeah, only 3 laps left to go on the stage. You see them passing the slow car of Eric Heater down on the apron. That'll put him 8 laps down. 7 cars have broken away out in front of this pack, and then a big gap back to Cody Rivera's, Zachary Thornton, and Micah Walls. I'm shocked. Zachary Thornton's pace has actually looked pretty good, considering that the front of his car was, at least on my screen, showing it beaten in after being involved in that last incident. Malachi Drake looking to the inside of Ollie Reeves, and he's going to be able to clear him up to the 4th position. Trevor Burns able to get by Brad Suwinski for 6th.
Malachi Drake.
He's not going to quite be able to clear him. Big run for Will Cloud off of turn 4. He's side by side of Cody Webster looking for the 2nd position. He drives all the way down to the apron. Oh, maybe a little bit of contact there. Cody Webster was trying to follow him, get that side draft. They're still side by side in the turns 1 and 2. Neither one giving an inch to the other.
Last lap of the stage, they're leaning on each other. Oh,
there they go, Cody Webster. Caution is going to fly. It means Brandon Fiedler will win the stage. Webster keeps it off the walls, but all his track position goes away there, and that just looked like hard racing, to be honest, but I'm going to want to take another look at that one. Him and Will Cloud were just kind of leaning on each other there off of turn 2. That Cloud maybe drifted up. Honestly, they stayed out of each other. Webster just got to the throttle too aggressively, got in the outside fence, came off the wall, and, well, actually, when he got the fence, Malachi Drake just had nowhere to go and got in the back of the 08 of Cody Webster, spun him around. And that caution will result in Eric Heater being a lucky dog. That'll put him now only 7 laps down.
Something happened between Swinski and Burns as well.
Oh! Yeah, I think Suwinski checked up for the wreck, and then I don't think Trevor Burns was trying to get into Suwinski, to be honest. I think that was just That's a weird accident. I'm gonna lean that was not intentional because that's just a weird. That doesn't look like how somebody would wreck somebody intentionally. It just looks like a unfortunate incident there as the caution flag was flying. Brad Sawinski though has required repairs out of that heavy damage to the right front of that car. Unfortunately for your pick, Brad Sawinski. And so our stage results here. Brandon Fiedler, your stage winner, followed by Will Cloud, Ollie Reeves, Brad Sawinski, Traver Burns, Malachi Drake, Cody Riveras, Zachary Thornton, Shockey Tarpley, and Michael Walls. Rounds out to 10, although I'm seeing some pretty heavy damage to the right front of Michael Walls' car as well. On my end, I don't know what happened to him. It must have happened much earlier in that run. But everybody other than Zachary Wareham has come down pit road. Zachary Wareham has actually stayed out and has inherited the race lead. Brandon Fiedler wins the race off pit road. Then Will Cloud, Ollie Reeves, Malachi Drake, Cody Rivera, Shockey Tarpley, Wyatt Roberts, Traver Burns, Matthew Miles, and Brandon Thomas. Andretti Robinson, Cody Webster, Brad Sawinski, Zachary Thornton, Chase Gibbons, Michael Walls, all taking damage repair under this caution flag. And Zachary Wareham now going to come down pit road. Looks like he just stayed out an extra lap. Maybe give himself a little more time to take damage repairs. He's got pretty heavy damage to the nose of that number 27, or that number 59 Chevrolet. They choose this time in the front free. Fiedler, Cloud, and Reeves all choose the top. That's going to let Malachi Drake go to the front row. Cody Riveras up to the second row, and Shockey Tarpley. Row 3, row 4 will be Traver Burns and Wyatt Roberts. The fifth row, Brandon Thomas and Matthew Miles. Then Wes Gallo and Andretti Robinson. Amir Bascombe, Eric Heater, Cody Webster, and Chase Gibbons. And then at the back, Michael Walls, Zachary Thornton. In fact, Chase Gibbons just went by the pace car. I'm not sure why he was behind the pace car to begin with. Actually, he was just coming off pit road after significant repairs. He definitely didn't beat the pace car off pit road. I'm thinking that's going to be a penalty. In fact, Zachary Wareham's actually called it a day. He's going to be our first car out of today's race.
So we're going to have 55 laps to go with that green. And the pace car is coming down pit road. Inside the restart zone. Oh, big stack up. They did not go. There's
we got a car spinning into the grass. That's Michael Walls.
Brent Fiedler has the lead. Just out of Cloud. Reeves and Drake side by side. Reeves is going to clear Drake. Brent Sawinski is a man on a mission. They are 4 wide off of 2. Bascombe made a little bit of contact. Couldn't tell who that was with on the outside. Sawinski.
Yeah, they're all over the place at the back of the field.
Check Darpley, Trevor Burns. They are 7th and 8th. Cody Webster, he's also a man on a mission. He's trying to gain some lost time.
I mean, Malachi Drake looking to the inside of Ollie Reeves for that 3rd position. He's just didn't quite have the momentum to drop back in the line. Drake, though, drives it in hard. He's going to get to that quarter panel of Ollie Reeves, looking to take away the 3rd position. Side by side off of turn 2.
Reeves going to have to tuck into line behind Drake.
Yeah, Drake just got a huge run. He got right up against the fence, but was able to keep it together. Cody Rivera has moved into the picture now in the 5th position.
Rivera's actually with pressure on the outside from Robinson. Andretti Robinson.
And Andretti Robinson able to get by him for 5th. He was on pit road for 30. He was in his pit box for 39 seconds, taking damage repair during that last caution. But the way he's driving, I think that damage was all the way fixed. He's up to the 5th position.
Best car on track that last lap was Andretti Robinson.
And Robinson, just looking at that corner entry, he drives it in way deeper than Ollie Reeves in front of him. He's going to get to the bottom of Ollie Reeves, side by side for 4th off of turn 4.
Robinson.
But not able to carry them. Yeah, he wasn't able to carry momentum, just didn't have the drafting help on the front stretch. Ollie Reeves able to stay back ahead.
Looking underneath Cody Rivera's. He's going to tuck back in line behind Rivera's.
You know, Brandon Thomas and Wes Gallo side by side for the 9th position. Wes Gallo having a good run here today. Haven't really seen him around the top 10 in most of his starts this season, but he's up there battling for that 9th position with Brandon Thomas right now. With a decent gap back to Zachary Thornton and Wyatt Roberts. He's actually going to be able to clear Brandon Thomas for that 9th position. And caution is out.
Sawinski around, as well as Miles.
It actually started entering turn 1. Sawinski got on the back of Miles. Miles saved it, but that checked everybody up. And then Sawinski came up the track and hard contact to the outside wall for both the 30 and the 28, and that might do it for both of their days. Heavy, heavy contact with the outside wall. And Matthew Miles actually had the tow back to pit road. I think his day is definitely done. An enforcement incident there. I don't think there was any intent from Brad Sawinski, but they kind of all stacked up in the turns 1 and 2. And then Miles was chasing the car, and then he came down the track, got into Sawinski. Don't know if that was retaliation or just tight racing, but I kind of sent him over the hill, and then Matthew Miles hit the wall a ton. Well, Josh, I think that might mean that both of our picks are now pretty much out of contention.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, Eric Heater is going to get a lucky dog to get back to only 6 laps down, but...
So yes, Michiganders just can't catch a break. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if anybody comes down pit road here. I'm not 100% certain what the fuel window is going to be here. I know in other series it's usually about 35 to 30 to 30 to 40 laps. It's been a while since I've raced this car at this track, so I would say probably it's about that here. Might be on the outside edge of being able to make it, but I don't think so. But as I said, that Cody Riveras and Shockey Tarpley, Wyatt Roberts, I believe Zachary Thornton and others. Actually, sorry, not Zachary Thornton, Michael Walls. Brad Sawinski's actually going to be able to stay on the lead lap, but that car is looking a lot worse for wear. They're going to choose this time, and once again, the top three all choose that outside lane. Ollie Reeves and Andretti Robinson are going to choose the inside. So it'll be Brandon Fiedler, Ollie Reeves, row 1, row 2. Will Cloud and Andretti Robinson, row 3. Malachi Drake and Zachary Thornton all the way back up to the restarting in the 5th position on track, but that's mainly due to the choose. Traver Burns and Amir Bascom, row 4, and row 5, Wes Gallo and Cody Webster, who has worked his way back up to the 10th position. And I will say, everybody who pitted under that caution looks like they did just come down for damage repair. Nobody pitting for tires, I believe, other than maybe Cody Webster. Lights on the pace car are out. Pace car coming to pit road. And the green flag back in the air.
Is out. Back to
a great restart for Brandon Fiedler, but Ollie Reeves on that inside, able to get clear for the 2nd position, able to move up to the top, and Andretti Robinson and Will Cloud side by side for 3rd. Oh, almost contact between Cloud and Andretti off the turn 2. Ollie Reeves with a big run down the backstretch. He's to the inside of Brandon Fiedler, side by side for the race lead.
Reeves trying to take it with authority.
He drove it in hard, but just wasn't quite able to stick it. But that inside line gets a really good run off of turn 4 every time. They're still going to be side by side down the front stretch. Fiedler's got a little bit of momentum. Reeves not going to side draft super aggressively, but still they're side by side heading to turn 1. Oh! Fiedler got up into the fence. He's going to drop all the way back to the 12th position. Traver Burns also had some issues off the corner. He drops back. Both of them free falling through the field. New race leader, Ollie Reeves.
Fiedler still having issues. Just ahead of him is 3 wide. Traver Burns.
Traver Burns.
Wide.
Something happened to Traver Burns, too. He's actually coming to pit road. Actually, he has a required repairs. I am going to go back and look what happened. That is very interesting. I'm not really seeing any major contact initially, unless I'm missing something. Oh, actually, he got hit by a blinked out Amir Bascom and hit the outside wall off of turn 2. I'm surprised that caused suspension damage, but it must have. I had that happen to me in the Slide Job Racing League at Atlanta. Got a car blinked out and put me in the fence. Pretty much ended my race and pretty much killed my chances of advancing the playoffs in that series. Such an unfortunate situation. Traver Burns.
Bascom loose. He is still holding on to that thing.
He got together with Wes Gallo, got together with Michael Walls, got loose about 3 or 4 times, was able to keep it going. He's still running now in the 11th position. Out front, we got a battle going on for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th positions between Zachary Thornton, Malachi Drake, and Andre Robinson. But Andre Robinson doesn't get a good exit off of turn 4, allowing Malachi Drake to get by for 4th, and Andre Robinson to slot back in 5th. And how about Zachary Thornton? He had heavy front end damage after one of our earlier incidents, but he has worked his way all the way back up to the 3rd position.
The other side of things, actually just behind them, Micah Walls. He is, I think, ticked off. He is coming through the field. He's currently 6th place right now, and he was driving up through those guys pretty aggressively. Oh, Gibbons almost getting into Webster just behind.
Oh, and Gibbons almost squeezed Wes Gallo into the fence there, 3 wide with Cody Rivera as well. Gallo going to clear, Gibbons going to give it up. Gallo and Rivera, though, still side by side. Rivera's tried to close the door on Gibbons, but was not clear. He's wisely going to just let Gibbons go by, slot back into the 10th position. Cody Webster looking to get to the outside of the 17 of Michael Walls for 6th.
And Walls struggling to get off 4 a little bit. He's going to go to the outside. Now Webster having to look to the inside.
Cody Webster to the inside. Webster was hoping to clear before they got the turns 1 and 2. Isn't able to. Michael Walls still fighting back on the outside, but Webster going to drive it in hard and clear Michael Walls on the entry to turn 1. And Cody Webster, he had the strongest car earlier in this race, and he still looks to have a lot of pace. Has worked his way all the way back up to the 8th position. By the way, Traper Burns, after taking repairs, is now 3 laps down. Also, we are about to come up on Brad Suwinski before too long. He is almost 5 seconds a lap off the pace with damage. Cody
of Ollie Reeves. Cloud actually going to look to the outside. He's there on the right rear of Reeves.
Reeves out clear. Malachi Drake checking up at Dirty Robinson. Here come Michael Walls and Cody Webster. Almost 3 wide, almost caught it between Webster and Walls off the corner. Walls backs off. He's going to pull up aggressively from the West Gallo. A little bit of contact. They're able to keep it together. Gallo drives it in hard. He's going to bump Michael Walls in the middle of 3 and 4. But they're able to all keep it together. The battle going on for the 7th position. West Gallo up to 7th, temporarily at least. Malachi Drake, Cody Webster, and Jerry Robinson battling on for the 4th spot.
And there they go, putting Suwinski a lap down. Suwinski's just going to hold on to that bottom.
I'll be honest, West Gallo bumping and running Michael Walls. If I'm West Gallo, I don't want to poke that bear. We've seen it time and time again. If you race Michael Walls hard, he will return the favor tenfold.
Michael Walls is already an aggressive driver.
Yeah, you don't want to have him driving angry behind you. That said, he's side by side of Cody Rivera. He's going to look to try to get the West Gallo outside of West Gallo. Cody Webster looking to the inside of Malachi Drake, looking for the 4th position. Oh, contact between Gallo and Walls. And Brandon Feeler heavily involved as well. I think that's all on Gallo, to be honest with you. Yeah, he just got loose off the corner. He got loose, and then, I mean, I can't fault Micah for going for that hole, but at the same time, that's a hole that probably Micah would have been better served backing out just to not go into it. But, oh, and Michael Walls, I'm not sure what just happened. Oh, Walls' right front got broken in that wreck. His steering got completely broken in that accident. That's the iRacing damage model taken away from Michael Walls. That wasn't huge kind, but that completely broke his right front suspension. He came back up, hit the wall hard in the entry of 3 and 4. I just don't think he had any steering, really. He actually ended up hitting the inside wall in turn 4. That car killed on the 17. And he actually hit the Mark Martin wall as well. So unfortunately, that's going to do it for Michael Walls.
Yeah, when these cars get damaged like that, they will not turn. I mean, you can turn your steering wheel all day long, and that car just will not turn.
And the whole field pretty much on to pit road, except for Chase Gibbons. Actually, several cars staying out, my bad. But actually, Chase Gibbons the only car to stay out. Multiple cars, though, taking, it appears, fuel only on this pit stop. Cody Rivera is going to win the race off of pit road, followed by Cody Webster. I'm surprised Rivera's beat Webster off of pit road. He was definitely... Oh, I just went back and looked. Cody Webster actually overshot his box slightly. That's why Cody Rivera was beating off pit road. Fuel only for Rivera and Webster. I believe 4 tires for everybody else. Chase Gibbons, though, stays out and inherits the race lead. Also, I believe Traber Burns was our free pass under that caution. That will put him now only 3 laps down. Actually, sorry, Brad Suwinski was our free pass. He got back on the lead lap, actually. I had forgotten he had gone a lap down right before that caution had come out. So front row here are going to be Chase Gibbons and Hilly Rivera, followed by Cody Webster and Will Cloud, then Zachary Thornton and Ollie Reeves, and Drew Robinson, Wyatt Roberts, Malachi Drake and Shockey Tarpley, and then Brandon Thomas and Amir Bascombe. Those 12 cars, the only 12 cars actually in the lead pack. It looks like everybody else still kind of taking damage or actually maybe topping off on fuel. Actually, yeah, everybody else behind him still is catching the pace car after taking damage repair.
All right, so real quick, before they go into 3 here, a trivia question that I kind of forgot about. So, it is Ken Squire. You mentioned it way earlier at the top of the show, Brad, about the 1979. Yeah, that's it. 1979 Daytona 500 flag-to-flag coverage. The famous quote from Ken Squire is, and there's a fight between Cal Yarbrough and Donnie Allison. And then, you know, driver that won, actually, I'll pause on that. Pace car is in as green flag's back out.
A good launch for Chase Gibbons in the 9. Out front for the first time today. Meanwhile, Cody Webster and Cody Rivera is going to be side by side for the 2nd position. Well, Cody Rivera is blinking a little bit while getting pushed by Will Cloud. That's a sketchy situation. He gets in hard. Always bouncing off people. Rivera is able to keep it together, barely. Will Cloud able to clear. Amir Bascombe got big time loose off of turn 2. Able to save it.
Cloud sitting in the best position possible, chasing down the car with older tires.
I also believe Chase Gibbons the only car that will not be able to make it on fuel from this point.
It's Cloud looking underneath Gibbons.
Side by side, he's not going to be able to clear though. We've seen race long. don't think he's clear. Actually, he is able to clear. I didn't think he was going to be able to get there, but crossover from the 9 now. Back to the inside of Will Cloud. Still side by side for the race lead.
He was actually putting up more of a fight than I thought he was. And look at Thornton. Zachary Thornton. Oh! Something happened with Will Cloud.
That was a weird incident. That was weird. Like, he just got loose, maybe, but I have not often seen the rear end of a car just come around like that. Zachary Thornton, though, is able to get the lead. Meanwhile, 3 wide for the second position. And Andretti Robinson able to get up to second. Zachary Thornton, Chase Gibbons is out. Here's Iris. Big block by Zachary Thornton. Or sorry, by Cody Webster.
Was there? That was strange. Was there some sort of netcode contact?
I'll go back and look at it. I'll go back and look at it in just a second once we get things sorted out. But they're still battling hard. Cody Webster's kind of gotten shuffled out, and we're seeing those older tires kind of not pay off. Will Cloud had been having a great race, up in the top 3 almost all day. And now that we got things, it looks like a little more sorted out. I'm going to go back and look and see what happened to that 48. Actually, he got loose. He just got loose, and then he corrected to stay off of the 9, and he had a big wiggle, and then I think he was just sawing the wheel. Yeah, if you go to his onboard, we can catch it maybe if we get a break or a lull in the action, but his onboard shows it. He just lost it, and then wasn't able to save it. That he turned it back to the right slightly, and that's why it. And then he turned it back hard left, then back hard right, because he was just trying to save. He was just fighting that car.
Ollie Reeves looking underneath Andretti Robinson.
And our race leader, Zachary Thornton, he's the points that are coming in, and the reason he is all year long, he doesn't usually show a lot early in these races, but as the race goes, his just consistency and patience pays off.
That was Rivera spinning in the back. Somehow, we're still green. There was a car in the grass. That was Cody Webster who's backing it up.
Well, Cody Webster hit the wall hard. That was Wyatt Roberts in the grass. Wyatt Roberts did a rally cross jump. Yeah, Cody Webster then spun into the grass. Caution is now out. And I'll be honest, I don't know exactly what. That was weird, the timing of the caution, too.
I'm wondering if that caution was admin thrown. Because of all of this.
It wasn't admin thrown. I have the chat pulled up, and there's no admin, because it gives that message when. So for people who aren't aware, iRacing gives a message if an admin does a command to throw a caution. It lists the admin, like, Blink has thrown a caution. That was not the case. That was iRacing thrown. I'm wondering if maybe there was another incident we didn't see that occurred maybe coming out of that. I mean, Cody Webster was kind of close to the racing line with cars coming, but he kind of had it saved. Oh, actually, Amir Bascombe was way off the pace in turns 1 and 2 as well.
I'm not.
Actually, I think the caution might have been for Amir Bascombe. He just came to a stop on the backstretch. He was caught up in that initial contact and hit the wall hard. I think he had broken steering, kind of like Michael Walls, and he just ended up coming to a stop on the backstretch. Lots of chaos there. One person who I think liked to see that caution was Will Cloud. He'll be able to take the little bit of damage he got. Also, Chase Gibbons going to be able to get fresh tires on that car. But this race is slowly turning into a battle of attrition. And the lucky dog Traber Burns will now be only 2 laps down. Five cars now showing on my end out of the race. Wes Gallo, Michael Walls, Matthew Miles, Zachary Wareham, and Jacob Weist all done for the day.
Now, speaking of Traber Burns, Traber actually made his JCTV debut last Friday.
Yeah, he did a great job.
A special event hosted by Andrew Elias at Talladega. The race was won by Alex Kerfan. I really have no idea what happened in the race at all.
Let me put it this way. It was a plate race, so I had a chance to win coming to the tri-oval, and then I spun out.
Yeah, brought by that diary. So, anyway, I was at a Metallica concert. So, thanks to Traber for helping out in that race. And Traber actually had joined the JCTV team. Just hadn't found a place to put him in yet for commentary, and he was available, so he stepped up. And shout out to him for that. So anyway, lights on the pace car are off. My trivia question. So the 1979 Daytona 500 with Kent Squire calling the race. There was a wreck. It was between Cali Yarborough, Donnie Allison. They were battling for the race lead, race win. And, of course, they ended up fighting after the checkered flag was over. But before that, the guy that ended up winning the race, Ken Squire, the way he called it, he said 3 words. Blank wins it. Who was the driver that won the race?
I know the answer. I'm just going to let our viewers... I think we can probably get to it next time we get a caution. We'll give the answer. Let the suspense build.
I'll probably forget
Zachary
about
Thornton. Sorry, what?
it. I'll probably forget about it.
I'll remind you, if I remember. Zachary Thornton and Trey Robinson going to lead us back to green.
And green flag is out. Bottom stacked a little bit.
Yeah, Ollie Reeves able to get, just going to shove Zachary Thornton. He's going to look to the inside, looking for the race lead in the turns 1 and 2. Big run, but he's not going to be quite able to clear the 35 of Zachary Thornton.
Ollie Reeves has tried so hard to get this race lead. This is his best opportunity right here as he's side by side with Thornton.
Yeah, he's had a bunch of opportunities. Meanwhile, Malachi Drake and Trey Robinson closing in as well. He's not going to quite be able to clear. Here comes Andretti Robinson.
Thornton powering on that outside.
Malachi Drake's got a big run down the front stretch as well, right behind them. And Shockey Tarpley and Brandon Thomas, 2 names we have not seen a lot of up front here today, both pulling into the picture as well.
Reeves going to slide up in front of Thornton, give Reeves the race lead. Thornton stays in line, not going to try a crossover.
Yeah, Andretti Robinson. Andretti Robinson had a chance to get up in front of Shockey Tarpley. He doesn't. Andretti Robinson definitely likes that bottom. Shockey Tarpley lead the outside of Malachi Drake. 3 wide for third position. Andretti Robinson gets loose. He is able to keep it together, but he's going to drop back.
Thornton right there back on the back bumper of Ollie Reeves.
And Chase Gibbons up in 5th. He was able to pit and take tires under that last caution.
Yeah, the right strategy for Gibbons. Gibbons make this work. Something I know somebody else couldn't make work in Michigan.
I resent that comment, but also Will Cloud, we saw him get loose that previous run. He spent over a minute on pit road taking damage repair during that last caution period. He's worked his way back up to the 7th position. Big run for Zachary Thornton down the front stretch on Ollie Reeves, but he's just going to shove him right now. I think Zachary Thornton's pretty contentious following Ollie Reeves for now, trying to let Ollie Reeves kind of use those tires up.
He's actually been on the bottom been running the top side.
I like the bottom for tire saving at most tracks, but the way the tires are not really wearing a lot here today, I'm not sure if that's the move. Shockey Tarpley looking to the outside of Malachi Drake, possibly for the third position. He's not quite able to get there.
Here comes
Will Cloud.
Right on the back bumper of Reeves once again. Thornton
Once again, he just chooses to sub him. So does Drake. Actually, a big checkup there for everybody. And Will Cloud down around the bottom of the track. He's going to be able to get clear of both Brandon Thomas and Andretti Robinson. He's not going to pull all the way up. He got a little loose off the corner.
Tarpley side by side with Drake. Gibbons makes 3 wide. Now Gibbons going to send it into the corner. Try to get 2 for 1 here.
And I think he's going to get it, but not quite a gap. Drake too close to Thornton, but Gibbons now side by side for the second spot.
Gibbons now losing the momentum. He is going to possibly have to tuck in behind Drake. He's not able to. Zach got close.
Drake had to check up a little bit to keep. They're kind of accordioning around the top right now on the front stretch. That's letting that bottom line kind of come back. Good run through the corner for Gibbons. He gets to Zachary Thornton and doesn't really lose ground off the corner. Still side by side for the second position.
Reeves actually breaking the draft with Thornton a little bit, kind of helping Gibbons out.
Thornton drove it in hard there, but Gibbons coming back on exit. Chase Gibbons really has found something. He's looking really good on that bottom on center exit, which is something we haven't seen a lot of all race. But the push from Malachi Drake going to put Zachary Thornton back ahead. Drake going to look to kill Gibbons as well for third.
Gibbons has the tire advantage, but you're seeing here that the outside line where the momentum is just way too strong. Gibbons,
and it's also not a big tire advantage. It's only 4 or 5 laps on those tires. Well, 4 or 5 green laps, 9 laps total.
Gibbons now has the outside.
Malachi Drake now looking to the inside of Zachary Thornton for the second position. Ollie Reeves kind of giving everybody the draft. I think he wants to see them side by side behind him. He's going to kind of go to the middle. Malachi Drake to the bottom. Zachary Thornton up at the top of the track.
Reeves kind of floating it into the corner.
Yeah, Drake, big run for Gibbons down the back. He's going to push Zachary Thornton. He clears Malachi Drake. Chase Gibbons the third. And another driver, we saw him doing a motocross jump across the front stretch for that last caution. Wyatt Roberts has worked his way all the way back up, is now side by side with Shockey Tarpley for the 5th spot. And Zachary Thornton just keeps not making that move on Ollie Reeves. He's just patiently waiting. 15 laps to go.
Gibbons right behind Thornton. You know, Gibbons is going to start getting aggressive with Thornton. Does Thornton have to decide it's go time now?
They're all being a little patient here. At the same time, if I'm them, I don't like riding in second around here. This isn't like Talladega where I'd actually almost prefer to be in second.
Gibbons looking underneath Thornton.
He just doesn't quite have the momentum though. Thornton with that draft from Ollie Reeves going to hold off Gibbons. Gibbons going to fall back a little bit. Malachi Drake going to put him under pressure in the turn 1. Wyatt Roberts in the background going to the bottom under Andretti Robinson looking for the 6th position. Roberts sent it in hard, and that's might pay off for him. He's still side by side with Shockey Tarpley now for 5th. And there is a lapped car ahead. Wyatt Roberts still side by side with Shockey Tarpley for 5th. Tarpley got a good exit off the corner there. He's going to clear Wyatt Roberts for that 5th position. Roberts not going to pull up in front of Robinson. Chase Gibbons to the inside of Zachary Thornton looking for the 2nd position.
Gibbons runs it wide.
Gibbons is really late arcing the corner, and it's really working for him on that bottom. He's not quite though able to clear Zachary Thornton.
Reeves once again breaking the draft with Thornton. Now pulls back up in front. Malachi Drake side by side with Gibbons for 3rd.
And once again, you see Gibbons kind of late arc in the corner. He's once again going to be able to clear Malachi Drake. He's actually going to be side by side with Zachary Thornton down the front stretch. Huge run for Chase Gibbons. However, he and Ollie Reeves dropped down the track. That kind of gives Gibbons the draft. He's still side by side with Zachary Thornton for second.
Thornton holding strong on the outside line. Malachi Drake doing a great job getting. Oh, Gibbons got loose. Oh, and Freddie Robinson.
Oh, Will Cloud's up and over. Caution's out. Will Cloud upside down on the backstretch.
It was the most interesting blowover I have ever seen.
Almost looked like it. iRacing recorded it as that almost looked like wheel-to-wheel contact between the two cars. You don't see that often in stock cars. It has happened from time to time. Kind of more common in modifieds than you see in the full-bodied stock cars, but you do occasionally see it. But yeah, Will Cloud up and over. Unfortunate for the 48. He was having a strong run here today, but he's got required repairs out of that accident. And Freddie Robinson is also having a strong day involved, and 10 laps to go. It's going to be decision time on pit road here. And Josh, I think we can go back to that trivia question, by the way.
Pushing on forward real quick. So, pit road is open. Some takers. A lot of takers.
I'll say split, about 50-50. By the way, free pass going to be Brad Suwinski once again going to get back onto the lead lap. 5 cars stay out. Ollie Reeves, Chase Gibbons, Shockey Tarpley, Wyatt Robertson, Cody Riveras.
I think this is going to be the most important race right here. It's a race off pit road.
It will, but I think we've seen old tires kind of holding on. Chase Gibbons has about 12, has I believe about 12 green flag laps on his tires. Ollie Reeves has about 18, and Shockey Tarpley have 18. Gibbons, Robertson, Riveras all have about 12 green flag laps on their tires, I believe. So they are in not the worst shape. Tires have not worn a huge amount here today. I know it's ironic coming from me saying that you shouldn't be taking tires here after I threw away the ITPN race here by not taking tires. But I just haven't seen a lot of lap time fall off to really say it's worth it.
So nobody guessed in the comments the trivia question. Nobody's really wanted to answer my question. Anyway,
yeah, it's if you want, I can go ahead and answer it, Josh, if you want.
Yeah, just hold on a second. So the question was the 1979 Daytona 500. Kelly Yarborough and Donnie Allison were coming to the checker flag. They were racing side by side, started beating and banging. They crashed each other, and the guy who was in third place passed them for the race lead and went on to win the race. The call was 3 words, and it was blank wins it. Go ahead, Brett, tell us which driver won that race.
Petty wins it.
Petty wins it.
Yep, held off Darrell Waltrip at the end of the race. Darrell Waltrip wasn't quite able to get there. I believe Darrell Waltrip had said that race he had fouled a cylinder early in that race because they ran a lot of that early part of that race. They started that race under the yellow flag and ran, I think, about 20 caution laps trying to dry the racetrack. Didn't quite have the track drying technology they have nowadays, and with the national TV slot, they wanted to get the race started and over in the TV window, so actually put cars out there to kind of act as the track drying equipment. Some cars had engine troubles due to that, but yeah, Richard Petty was able to hold off Darrell Waltrip to win the 1979 Daytona 500. So this restart, though, Ollie Reeves and Shockey Tarpley going to be your front row, followed by Chase Gibbons and Wyatt Roberts. Cody Rivera's and Malachi Drake, and then Zachary Thornton and Cody Webster goes way up because almost everybody chose the top. Only 5 cars on the bottom. Brad Sawinski's 5th on the bottom with a severely damaged car.
Green flag is back out. Ollie Reeves with a great jump. 9 laps to go. Gibbons.
Side by side with Shockey Tarpley. Tarpley drives it in hard.
Oh, Tarpley got loose.
Tarpley got loose. That's going to let Wyatt Roberts get to 3rd. Malachi Drake to 4th. Malachi Drake, first guy on those fresh tires.
Malachi Drake was looking underneath. Roberts close doors. Roberts looking underneath Gibbons.
Yeah, I don't think Malachi Drake's going to be very patient. He can see that 31 pulling away out in front of him.
Drake's going to be on the outside of Roberts now. It's Drake trying to get ahead of Roberts.
Yeah, Zachary Thornton also right there. Thornton going to get by Roberts as well. Drake going to look under Chase Gibbons, looking for the 2nd position. Gibbons actually catches the wall.
Malachi Drake, P2 now. It's Drake.
And he has a huge run on Ollie Reeves.
Drake looking to the inside. He's all the way down at the bottom. Close to that line. Sliding up ahead of Reeves. New race leader, Malachi Drake. Drake is going to block. Reeves trying to get the crossover.
But here comes Zachary Thornton. He's also on fresh tires. They're 3 wide for the 6th position. Riveras, Thomas, and Tarpley. Thornton and Reeves side by side for 2nd. Gibbons and Roberts side by side for 4th.
Thornton set it in the corner a little bit. He will be clear of Ollie Reeves. Now Thornton,
and I think it's going to be
sights focused on Malachi Drake with 5 laps to go here at MIS.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a 2-car race. Everybody behind them, they have 3 cars on older tires, separating them from Brandon Thomas, the 3rd car on fresh tires, who's worked his way up to the 6th position.
Zachary Thornton was the fastest car that last time around. Malachi Drake now trying to break the draft as he goes down the track. Thornton
yeah, and you can see how much Thornton gained on exit on that straightaway despite the trip to break the draft. Just that difference in pace. Noticeable. Zachary Thornton closing on Malachi Drake. Precaution is out.
And it's going to be Andretti Robinson around.
Yeah, caught it between Brandon Fiedler and Andretti Robinson racing for the, I believe, the 9th position. Fiedler got into the back of Andretti Robinson, spun him around. Caution flies for the, I'm not sure how many time today.
8th.
For the 8th time today. And I believe that means we will have overtime here at Michigan International Speedway. I don't know if it's going to be just an unofficial overtime, but it will be a 2-lap shootout to the finish of this race. You know, I'm wondering if some drivers were out of tire sets. There was only 3 sets in the pits. I'm wondering if that might be why we saw some drivers like Ollie Reeves and Wyatt Roberts not pitting there. Under the previous caution. Also, free pass, Traber Burns. He's now only 1 lap down, as we will have our first attempt at a green-white checkered finish coming up here in just a minute. This choose is going to be very interesting to see where Zachary Thornton goes relative to Malachi Drake. And we're going to have to look for the 6th place car, Brandon Thomas, and the 8th place car, Brandon Fiedler. They're also on fresh tires. And I got to wonder if either of them can maybe take advantage of this choose. Brandon Thomas, he's just run a clean race. Maybe the one car today who we've not really seen in any trouble all day, that 51 Go Bowler machine of Brandon Thomas. Just a solid run. He's got himself up into the 6th position here. And they are coming to the choose right now. We'll see where Zachary Thornton picks. He will follow Malachi Drake to the top. Ollie Reeves and Wyatt Roberts both choose the bottom. Then Brandon Thomas and Chase Gibbons choose the top. Cody Rivera will start row 3 on the inside. Brandon Field will start row 4 on the inside. The key for Zachary Thornton here is going to be getting clear. If he can launch with Malachi Drake and get clear of Ollie Reeves before they get to turn 1, I think he's got a good chance. But he's got to watch out. Ollie Reeves is going to drive it in really hard in the turn 1, I think. This is our first of 3 attempts at a green-white checkered.
So overtime, presented by Brett Bennett's Diary. Space car gonna work its way down to the safety of pit road. This guy's gonna be turned loose one more time. Drake, Reeves, Thornton, Roberts. Green flag. It's back in the air. Thornton did not get going. Thornton got caught
Thornton tried
there.
Honestly, a good decision there by Malachi Drake. He waited to go till late in the restart zone. Zachary Thornton tried to anticipate it and just went too early, had to check up. That lets Ollie Reeves get clear for the 2nd position. And if I'm Malachi Drake, big run for Ollie Reeves down the backstretch. He's going to look to the inside of Malachi Drake, looking for the race lead in the turn 3.
Ollie Reeves, of course, on those older tires.
Yeah, he's just not quite able to hold it. Zachary Thornton with a big run. He's right on the back bumper of Malachi Drake. As they come to the start-finish line, white flag in the air. Here comes Thornton to the bottom.
1 lap to go here is Thornton. He pulls down underneath Malachi Drake. Thornton sending it hard. Drake pitching him down. They're going to be
not
side
able
by
to
side.
clear.
Thornton losing the momentum. He's going to tuck back in the line behind Drake.
I think he's going to have another chance here on the front stretch.
Drake got a little loose there, entering 3. Off turn 4, checkered flag is waving. It's not going to be enough. Malachi Drake is your race winner here in the Aaron Brown Memorial 175 presented by AR Exemplary.
And you know what we were saying? We were saying all race that Fords win here, but the Chevy Camaro of Malachi Drake gets it done. He's been up front all season, especially on the ovals. Finally able to put together a clean, full race. Holds off the points leader, Zachary Thornton, and he takes home the victory here at Michigan.
The bow tie.
And how about...
Bow tie wins it.
Yep, and also, how about Wyatt Roberts? He went autocrossing, hit the front stretch grass transition, got into the air. With about, I think, 15 laps to go, he ends up finishing 3rd. Malachi Drake now going to burn it down on the front stretch.
One cool thing about this track is victory lane on the first stretch, so Malachi Drake gets to park it in victory lane. And I think he blew a motor.
Yeah, he did. I definitely heard that motor go while he was doing burnouts.
Take a look at the results. Malachi Drake wins the race. Zachary Thornton, P2. Wyatt Roberts, 3rd. Ollie Reeves, 4th. Brandon Fiedler, 5th. Cody Rivera, 6th. Cody Webster, 7th. Brandon Thomas, 8th. Andretti Robinson, 9th. And finishing 10th is Chase Gibbons.
Shockey Tarpley finishes 11th. Will Cloud up front, but he ends up fading to 12th. Brad Suwinski, despite big kind of at the wall, able to bring it home 13th on the lead lap. First car, 1 lap down. Only car, 1 lap down. Traber Burns in 14th. Eric Heater brings it home 15th, 7 laps down. Then our DNFs, Amir Bascombe, 16th, 27 laps down. Then we have Wes Gall, 17th. Michael Walls, 18th. Matthew Miles, 19th. Zachary Wareham, 20th. And Jacob Weiss comes home in 21st. And Josh, I don't know if you want me or if you're going to catch up with our 3rd place finisher, Wyatt Roberts here.
You go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here now with Wyatt Roberts, our 3rd place finisher here today at Michigan. Wyatt got caught up in some incidents early in the race, had to go autocrossing through the grass with about 25 to go, but were able to recover, bring it home 3rd. How are you able to keep calm through a lot of chaos here today at Michigan to bring it home with a strong 3rd place finish?
Luckily, with those incidents I had, they were both below a minute of repair, so I got them fixed pretty soon. But I was able to just try and focus on, be aware of who's around me, and try and make moves. Tried to get some of the track position back. I was a little different with the tires. I pitted around lap 60, and I also did on lap 50, so I had better tires. And just trying to efficiently work through the field there and get my spots back up, get towards the front.
Yeah, we saw that last restart. Kind of a lot of chaos on the initial start, battle for the lead, plus kind of this is getting crazy on that overtime restart. On the older tires, how are you able to still keep it up there with the tire offset on that last restart?
I think some of it is the people that didn't pit at the very end. I was a little better than the people on lap 50, but being on the fresh tires, we didn't really have a long enough run, I don't think, to get them up the proper temperature. So at least for the first lap, I would have been about the same speed. I knew Malachi and Thornton, they had the better tires, but I felt like I could get Ollie with a couple lot better treads.
Yeah, and we saw you had to kind of work from deep in the field here. As we move forward in the playoffs, though, you came into today's race 6th in the points after a disappointing result at Road America, but a good result today. How are you going to try to carry this momentum forward as we go in? Only 4 races remaining now, going to Dover in 2 weeks' time after next week's off for Thanksgiving.
I'm hoping that we can get some better races. Hopefully, I mean, if we could keep this up, I'm still hunting for that win, but if I can get top 5s just about everywhere, I mean, that's all I need to do. There is a drop week, so I don't have to worry about my Road America too bad, hopefully. And yeah, I just got to get top 5s. I feel like I'm good at Dover. I feel like I'm really good at tire saving, and obviously concrete with the high banks, very important there. So if I can get a good tire run to go my way, I feel like I could definitely run up front there as well.
Yeah, and last but not least, Wyatt, anybody you'd like to thank who gets it done for you on that 42 machine?
I'd like to thank my dad and my grandma who watch the streams always. I'd like to thank my side draft racing teammates, Traver Burns, Matthew Miles, and also Traver wanted me to shout out Amir and for being too aggressive. So, and I mean, he was rubbing against me too. So, yeah.
Well, Wyatt, congrats on the 3rd place finish, and best of luck to you as we move forward here in the playoffs here in the SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series.
Yes, thank you.
And Josh, I believe you're going to catch up with our 2nd place finisher, Zachary Thornton.
Yeah, I'm here with Zachary Thornton. What a finish! Last couple laps there. You were battling for the race lead. Actually, you had the race lead at one point there towards the end, but a couple cautions that came down at the end, and just managing through traffic for drivers that stayed out between you and Malachi Drake. Malachi did a little bit of a better job. You were still holding on right there with him, so how much were you pushing that car just to try to get ahead of Malachi Drake?
Yeah, it was a pretty good finish. I was definitely pushing pretty hard. I wish we didn't get that final caution at the end, because that really just messed up my momentum a little bit, because then I had to get past Ollie again. Just kind of messed things, and I feel like if we didn't get that caution, I would have had a better chance, but I still had a pretty good chance, but then I definitely think I could have done a better job in the last lap of maybe just being more patient than making a move into 3, but I can't complain about a 2nd at all. It's very good, and that'll be helpful in the playoffs to just keep with my lead, so very happy about that. It was a good race. It was definitely very scary at the start, though. There was a lot. I was in the bottom half for a lot of the start, so that was scary. Just navigating my way through, and ended up with 2nd place finish. So that's pretty good.
Darren, what was the last restart? Malachi Drake got a really good restart. What happened there? Were you just not expecting him to go when he did, or?
I think part of my problem is I hit him and then he went, so it just didn't really end up out well for me, because I hit him right before he started going, so then I was behind him a little bit. So it was just, and I'm just not the best at restarts either, so I kind of figured I was going to lose a little bit from that, so that definitely didn't help much.
All right. Well, great points day. I've been points leader, I think, pretty much all season long. So, is there any sponsor shout-outs you'd like to give? Who gets it done in that 35 machine?
I'd like to shout out Little Cloud teammate. He was doing pretty good today. I mean, he was up front the whole race. Unfortunately, overcorrected there towards the end, got in the wall and messed up his car, unfortunately. But he had a really good race overall. I mean, he was running up front for a lot of it, so he's good. I was working with him. Thank you to you guys for broadcasting, of course, and thank you to what's his name, Cody Rivera's, for putting it all on.
All right. Congrats on the 2nd place finish, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right, see you then.
That was Zachary Thornton, driver number 35, and tonight's runner-up. Brett, part of the reason that I'm letting you interview the winner is because I have such bad luck in fishing that I can't seem to find victory lane here. So, not that you really can either, but we'll let you go ahead and interview Malachi Drake.
And I'm here. I have found victory lane. I'm here with the race winner, Malachi Drake. Malachi, lots of chaos in today's race, but you're able to see it through. Take us through that last restart as you were able to hold off Zachary Thornton to pick up the race win here today at Michigan.
Yeah, I did a good job on the previous restart with the fresh tires to make sure I was the first one with the fresh tires, and to take the lead there. And then on that caution, I just knew that I just had to get a good restart, and so I waited for Thornton to try to guess behind me when I was going to go and give me a bump. And then after he did that, I went. So he didn't get quite as good of a start, and it allowed, I believe, the 31 to get in front of him. And then from there, it was just keeping the outside. And when he went on the last lap in 1 and 2, when he went to the bottom, yeah, I just needed to get right beside his car and take the air off of it to maintain the lead. And he raced me clean, and I appreciate that because he could have easily just slid up the track and wrecked both of us, but he raced clean.
Yeah, and you made the decision to come down and take tires with about 10 to go, kind of a split strategy there. Just also the other thing this race, you were able to keep it clean throughout this race. Eventually, put your position in a pull-out strategy at the end. One of the few cars that seemed like you pretty much stayed out of what seemed like a lot of incidents in today's race. How were you able to keep the car clean throughout and put yourself in position to be able to pull that strategy at the end of the race to give you the fresh tires?
Just trying to not overdrive the car. I knew that the tires kind of mattered towards the end of the runs, and a lot of people were driving him into the corner really hard. So most of the race I just spent trying to just kind of chill behind other cars on the outside and just take it easy and try to not put the car in any bad spots that I could avoid. So just kind of being patient and hoping things would come to me and not get caught up in someone else's mess.
Yeah, and with the win here today, you put up a lot of minutes. We've seen you come close a couple times this year, but it seems like you've just not been able to. You just had not had the luck late in races to really get it done. With the win, though, how are you going to hope to carry that momentum forward through the rest of this season as we head to Dover next and then on for the final 4 races?
It helps a lot. It gives good confidence. I was a little discouraged throughout the season, just stuff not going my way, and then I had to miss last week's race. So to be able to pick up a win coming back is really big, and if nothing else, at least gives me something to hang my hat on at the end of the year, regardless of how the rest of the races go.
Yeah, and with the win here today, who would you like to thank on that 09 machine? Who gets it done for you?
I like to thank Cody. He was my main teammate this race. He was kind of up front with me for a while there. We were trying to work through strategies and stuff together, and I want to thank Zach for racing me clean there at the end, and to Riveras for putting on the league, and you guys broadcasting.
Well, that's our race winner, Malachi Drake. He's able to get it done here at Michigan and win the Aaron Brown Memorial 150 presented by AR. I'm blanking on whatever the last word of it is because that's how that goes. But congrats on the win, Malachi. Hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
Let's see, AR Exemplary.
Exemplary. That's the word I was looking for. I knew it was like an adjective, but I couldn't think of what the adjective was. Maybe it's an adverb. I don't know. I'm bad at it. I was never good at that. But yeah, Josh, I believe we now got a week off here on JCTV after tonight.
Yeah, next week is Thanksgiving, so at least I haven't checked the schedule. I hope that they're not racing next week, but
no, we are off. The next race is November 30th at Dover here in SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series.
So yeah, what a race that was. It was pretty good.
Yeah, lots of entertainment, lots of hard racing. Just no one gets separated. We had a decent bit of cautions, but really just a lot of product of close racing. Didn't really see a lot of bad driving, just tight racing. And in the end, Malachi Drake, great drive on that last restart, holding off the 35 of Zachary Thornton. Thornton been probably the best driver all season, maybe outside of Luke Peters in his limited starts. But even then, Zachary Thornton's been right there with Peters, even when on the ovals. But Malachi Drake picks up the victory. And we've seen back-to-back races with drivers picking up their first wins of the season. We'll see if that streak keeps going as we head to Dover next. But yeah, season coming towards the end now, and looking forward to being here for the rest of the year.
Hey, Brett, did you check out any of race we did Monday?
I was unfortunately not able to check it out. I had other events going on. I was I was busy costing your driver, Michael Kruger, a race win
Oh,
by causing a caution.
I heard all about that. I just meant throughout the rest of the week if you were able to check it out. But
I have not. I have had zero free time with work and firefighting and being an EMT.
so, Brett hasn't checked it out, but
I
if you
have been
guys,
meaning to though, because it sounded like it was a lot of fun from what I've heard.
it was a lot of fun actually. So if you guys, want to check out something else as well, I mean, Monday nights, the 3-Wide Racing League, or the 3 Rock Series, just had their season opener of 6-race schedule, and it was at Auto Club, a track very similar to this, with the Toyota GR86s, and they're a lot slower than this, but oh my gosh, what a race they put on. It was exciting from start to finish, and I think it's only going to continue to be exciting for the rest of the season. It was their only race that they're at a big track like this. The next track, actually, this upcoming Monday, they are at Lernerville. I know nothing about Lernerville, so I'm going to have to learn that track myself. But it should be a really fun.
As somebody who races dirt a decent bit, Lernerville's a great track. That's going to be a lot of fun. I have never seen the GR86 race on dirt, but I got to imagine that's going to be a lot of fun. That track is it's interesting. There's no backstretch wall. If you run off the track on the backstretch, you go down a hill into the woods. But it's a really fun track. I believe it's in Pennsylvania, I want to say. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I recommend tuning in if you're free next Monday night.
I have no idea where it's at. I'll be honest. I'm kind of I know where 2 dirt tracks are at. Eldora, because I've been there in person, and Knoxville, because I was trying to figure out how far I was from Knoxville, Tennessee. It's a lot different than Iowa, let me tell you. So anyway, yeah, I think that's gonna do it from us here at Michigan International Speedway. This was a fun race. I love this track so much. Love coming here. Love broadcasting at this track. And a lot of memories here. So that was fun. So next week, just one race on Monday night. Tune into that one. We'll start at 9:15. So we'll go live on air. 9:30 is when they go green. Pretty excited for that. My expertise in dirt is none. So I've got a lot to study and learn for that one. But Dover next for the SAAC Coast Go Scuff Series Monster Mile. That track will reach out and grab you if you're not careful. I'm pretty excited for that one too. So if you don't tune in, happy Thanksgiving. And stay safe, everybody, and enjoy the holiday. Especially if you do any Black Friday shopping. Be careful on that as well. I know how insane that can be. Eat lots of good food, and till next time. On behalf of everybody at JCTV, the outstanding crew, Brett Bennett, I'm Joshua Copperell signing off, saying so long, and we'll see you next time.